says, clear the tarmac, it's takeoff time.
Media Vintage Sports Network presents Play-by-Play Podcast with Jordan Hughes. Alrighty, welcome in NRL Picks and Preview. Back with you once again as we look to get moving into NRL Round 5. Jordan Hughes with you alongside.
King! That's rather enthusiastic after last week, let me tell you that.
Tough. Good afternoon, mate. Good to see you. You well?
Good to see you, my guy, Geordie.
Looking very nice. All white.
Thank you. Got to look suave. Got to keep up with you, my man.
That's it. Firstly, we'll touch on tough weekend. Plenty of upsets. What'd you make of it?
Look, I've got plenty of disappointments from last week. 2 out of the 8 of the favourites got through,
Yep.
and that represents our tips. It's not that we've got bad tips. It's just the boys just ain't playing good footy.
No. So, yeah, 2 from 8 from the big dog here. And I did go slightly better. 4 from 8. Nothing to write home about, but a couple of upsets there got me done. So, the standings, mate, I double-checked this because you get up me every week. 21 from 32 is me. 20 from 32 is you.
So you're up by 1.
Correct.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, what was your moment of the week?
Moment of the week, most impressive for me was the Rabbitohs beating the Penrith. That was sensational.
Yeah, they carved up the bunnies. Me in that same sort of vein was just the underdogs delivering.
Everywhere.
Yeah, Titans big win in Sydney. The Cowboys big win. The Dragons finally got it done for me.
Against Storm, very impressive.
And then obviously, as you mentioned, the bunnies as well. So it's good to see the underdogs. Good to see how even the competition is this season.
Yeah, and a big highlight for me, the most impressive, was Jaden Campbell for the Titans. He is absolutely on a tear. He is the backbone of that team.
Absolutely. And then what got you down, mate?
Look, the Sharks at home, that was a bit of a letdown. The
Yep.
Bulldogs are in phenomenal form after that performance. But another big one was the ending of that Tigers game on the Sunday.
Yeah, with Waz.
Tigers and the Wars, that was a great game,
Yep.
and I hated how it ended, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. For me, I was just happy, mate. It was good.
You're just happy across the park.
Yeah.
Geordie had a good weekend.
good
He's just
weekend.
happy.
Life's
You
good.
like that those underdogs got up. I know. I can see it on the smirk.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for the game. And finally, but as you know, man, I've been backing these Dragons every week.
And they come through.
Got some
Good
cash.
job.
Also, I just thought I'd bring it up too. You had a couple of locals out in the world sort of mention the potty too.
Yeah, well, look, I'm known for many things, mainly my muscles or being handsome. But look, they suggested, hey, you're the guy off the potty. We follow some of your stuff. We've won some money. So it was so cool to hear that.
Yeah, complete stranger.
Complete stranger. Never seen him in my life.
Love
I was like,
that.
who are these guys sitting there looking at me? Usually it's the women, but hey, these dudes.
Yep.
Hey, shout out to you guys. Killing it.
Absolutely. Good to see you tuning in. Good to see you enjoying us talking a bit of rubbish as well. Anything else you want to mention before we get into this weekend?
Now let's get rolling. We'll see you at the end.
All right, there we go. NRL Round 5 is upon us. It starts tonight. The Raiders and the Sharkies. $2.35. The Raiders, $1.60. The Sharks. The line is 3.5, my friend.
Oh, I'm on the fence here. Who's the favourite?
Sharks.
Sharks are favourite. Look, I really like both teams here. They both need to come back and get a win. Sharks really struggled last week. I hope they turn it around for me.
Yeah, need to bounce back big here. It is in Canberra, and the Raiders have won the last 3 as a home underdog. The home team has covered the last 4 Canberra matches, and the Raiders have won the last 4 or 5 versus the Sharks, and they've been decided by 1-12.
Yeah, wow, that sits right up there with my stats. I was on the fence. You can fall left, and you got a 1-12 for Raiders, a 4 right, got 1-12 with the Sharks. What I do like, I think they've got such a good forward pack with the Raiders, and they're so willing and keen. And the Sharks, they just have a powerhouse forward pack. In saying that, I'm going to be leaning on the Shark side 1-12 here.
Okay. Your man, Iro or Iro, is it?
Yeah, Iro's out.
He's out. I saw that as well. A couple of stats for you as well. Josh Papali, for like a roughie, scored 3 or 4 times when he's played at home against the full Canberra.
Wow.
So he likes
Solid.
to find a way through. You're on the Sharkies to win here.
Sharkies here.
I'm going to get the Raiders bounce back.
Yeah, well, either way,
Yeah,
you're on.
it's a toss-em.
I'd leave it out of the favourites.
Yeah, 100%. I reckon the Raiders, they'll pull last week against the Cowboys. Back at home, I'm going to go Raiders 1-12. I think it's 1-12 either way, but I'll go the Raiders just.
Beauty. I've got Sharks 1-12, and I'm looking at Savage for a try out there. He's been scoring.
Lovely. I'll go Papali to get one over as well for the men from Canberra.
The boys are split.
There we go. Let's go to the Panthers and the Cowboys. This is an interesting matchup. $1.22 the Panthers, $4.25 the Cowboys. The line's 13.5. Cleary's back. Tottle's
Cleary's
out.
back 2 in a row.
Yep.
No Edwards. What are they going to do? But look, I'm back in the big Crimson Chin here. He needs to come back
The
firing
Crimson
hard.
Chin, I like that.
The Crimson
it's good.
Chin.
He's got it is a big fucking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, look, all the Panthers shape come off Cleary. He's the man. And look, there's no Edwards out the back. Dane Laurie had a shocker last week. Hopefully he can turn it around. And with the Cows, they're just lacking shape.
Yep.
For me, the only way they're scoring points is off individual brilliance. With it, which was last week, it was Clifford. He scored a double.
Yep.
Or something like Drinkwater.
Drinkwater, I was going to say, yeah. The Panthers have failed to cover the last 5 at CommBank Stadium. 6 or 7 Panthers games in Sydney have gone under the total points. Alamotti has scored his last 3 home games.
I like that.
He's man, and as you mentioned, Drinkwater scored 3 or 4 times in Sydney. I'm going to join you here. I'm just going to go the Panthers to win here.
Yeah, just keep it safe.
Yeah, I think they
Panthers.
will find a way to bounce back. Cowboys, a bit of a letdown spot. They obviously got a win last week. I think they might
Yeah.
fall off a little bit this week.
Yeah, and look, Panthers need a win.
They desperately need a win.
And I'm going off that right edge off Cleary. It's either Alamotti or Tago scoring.
Yeah, I'll
you
go-
know, that little cheeky chip kick.
100%. I'll go Alamotti for a try as well. Let's go now. This is the big derby, the Sydney derby. The Rabbitohs and the Roosters, $1.65. The Bunnies, $2.25 are the Chooks. 3.5 your number. The big inclusion of Latrell Mitchell is back.
Latrell Mitchell. Imagine what that's going to do to the team. The Rabbitohs performed so well last week beating Penrith. They're on a high. Now, inclusion of Latrell Mitchell, which I very like in the centres,
Yep.
that is bolstering that team. And it's against his old club, so there's a lot
True.
of... And one more thing, it's multicultural round.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's even more odds on Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker to team up there.
Love that. So the Souths have covered the last 5. They won the last 4 home games versus teams on a losing streak. Tedesco scored in his last 4 away games versus South Sydney, and Latrell scored in his last 5 of 6. So no doubt he'll be fired to get back in the mix.
Yeah, look, I really like Humphreys there, keeping their team disciplined, man. Humphreys, apart from his good looks and arms, he's keeping that team well in check. And so is Jai Gray. His returns, he's just such a little rascal. He's not falling into the bad habits that the Rabbitohs tend to have. On the other end, with the Roosters, they've welcomed back Connor Watson and Nat Butcher, so they're going to be bolstered.
Yep.
What I don't like from them is just they don't have try-scoring ability. I don't think their halves are up to scratch where they need to be. But yeah, big inclusion with Latrell.
There we go. On that note, I'm going to go Rabbitohs to win here. Rabbitohs minus at 3.5, and I go Latrell to score in his return game. Where do you lean?
Lovely. Look, I'm looking at that left edge is major danger. It's either going to be Latrell or his winger out there, which is Tass. And look for it to even open up for Jai Gray.
Okay.
You know, all that ball to Latrell, little sneaky dummy, he's over.
Love it. Who wins it?
Rabbitohs for me.
All
Let's
right.
go.
There we go. The Bunnies going to win that one. Now the Eels and the Dragons. $2.40 the Eels, $1.57 the Dragons. The line is 4.5. Parramatta won their last 5 of 6 as the underdog versus the Dragons. The Dragons have failed to cover the last 5 of 6. Eels looking for their first win of the season. The Dragons, the high of last week, can they back it
Yes,
up?
here we go. They're on such a high, and the Parramatta still hunting their first win, still hunting something. I just don't think they have. They're just not offering much in attack. Not
Yep.
much attacking shape. And on the other end, that shape off Gutho, the way St. George play, that shape's always coming off Gutho. So it's Gutho with a cutout to Tuolapu, or you've got Valentine Holmes there with the tries.
Against his former club too, Gutho, this weekend.
Oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Gutho's their main man, you know. How's he going to feel going up? I think it's good that Moses ain't playing.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
I'm leaning on the St. George and Tuolapu to score out there on the left edge.
Lovely. For me, this is your classic letdown spot for the Dragons. You beat the Storm, you're fucking sky high. You go into a team that you should win. They're fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
And you shit the bed
Can see that happening.
on the cards. So I'm going
Straight
to
off the
go
bat.
the Eels to get their first win of the season.
Let's
For
go.
me, yeah, I'll back the Eels to get it done. I'll go the
The
Eels.
underdog king.
Yeah, plus the 4.5 Eels to win for me. Let's see how that pans out and not blow up in my face. Okay, let's go now to the Titans and the Dolphins. The Queensland Derby, $1.48. The Titans, $2.65. The Dolphins, the line is 5.5.
Lovely. Are we going to this match together? You, me, podcast, media. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. You in?
When is it?
Saturday, 4:30.
Mate, you know,
You're busy.
I'm on.
I'd love to be there with you. Look,
I'm
the
still
wa-
angry at the grand final last year, to be honest.
Look, the way the Titans played the week before against the Knights, I watched them in person. They were so good at home, and it comes through their big forward pack with Tino is just a wrecking ball. He's got Mo and Regan Campbell. They're so large, and Tino's offloads is just insane. Followed by that is just Jaden Campbell leading the team.
Absolutely. The Dolphins have lost their last 7 away games. The Gold Coast Titans have failed to cover the last 7 of 8 as a favourite. The Dolphins have lost their last 4 of 5 by 1-12, so they're getting better. They're pretty close, but I think the Titans may edge them out here.
Yeah, have they had a win yet, the Dolphins?
No, on the donut.
Well, they're still on the donut. This could be the one that they get it done. I think it's going to be very close here. But for me, I'm leaning with the Titans at home 1-12.
There we go. I agree. I go Titans to win in a close one. Brian Kelly has scored in his last 3 versus Queensland teams, and your man Campbell has scored in his last 3 or 4 when playing at the Gold Coast. Titans to win 1-12. Campbell to score. Kelly to score.
And if you're there, I'll see you there. Come up, shake my hand, mention the media podcast.
Yep. There we go.
on.
Get a couple of photos for the fans, mate. Good.
Yes, sir. I'll get that.
Good to see. Let's go up to Brizzy now. The Broncos $1.14. The Tigers $5.80. The line 17.5. A lot of points in this one.
That is. I don't think that score is justifiable because, Broncos aren't playing that well and the Tigers haven't been that awful.
No.
Big out for Tigers is Luai's out. So they're led by Alfano, who's filling in his spot.
Okay.
And he played a great game last week.
Lachlan Galvin had to step up this week.
Yeah, Lockie Galvin. And I think they're just run by Coruscant. Coruscant is such a competitor. He's a beast. And look out for Buller at the back. I'm a big fan of Buller.
He's
Buller.
the man. I think you like because you just get to say that. The Broncos have failed to cover the last 9 home games. The Broncos' last 4 at home versus the Tigers have gone over the total points. And Katoni Stagg has scored in his last 4 or 5 as well. For me, I'm going to go Broncos to win here. I think they do get it done. The Luai factor is huge, I think. Broncos to win, Stags to score.
Very fair. Look,
Take the over, total points.
what's the over?
I think it's 55.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
But 17.5. That's a lot of. That's a big number. I don't know where I
That
sit on
is.
that.
Look, I'll be giving that to the Tigers.
Tigers, yeah.
I'll take the Tigers there if we were to pick one.
There we go. Who wins it, mate?
Look, I'm leading with the Broncos. Their forward pack's too good, and all their players literally come off Hunt and Reynolds. So look for the left edge with Arthurs to get a try.
There we go. The Broncos are finding some form as we get into round 5. The action does continue. This is a massive matchup. Manly, $2.45. The Storm, $1.55. The Lions, 4.5. Obviously, the headlines been about big Daly Cherry Evans all week.
Oh, yeah, Cherry Evans. He still played pretty well last week.
He did.
They got a dub, but no Tommy Turbo at the back there. That's a big loss, especially against the Storm. And Storm are going to come out pretty
Off
grumpy.
a loss. Yeah.
Bellamy.
would have been filthy last week.
And look, to give it to Storm, there's a few calls last week with video refs and things that go the wrong way. Like Ali Katola's try was definitely a try.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
It is what it is. So they're going to be roaring for this game, I think.
Absolutely. The Storm have won their last 15 following a loss, which is a huge stat for me. Manly have failed to cover the last 5 following a win. Anderson has scored in his last 5 of 6 as a favourite, and Saab has scored in his last 6 of 7.
Lovely. So who are you going with?
I'm going to go the Storm here. The Storm off a loss, bounce back. I think Storm win, Storm cover, Anderson for a try, and they do a job.
Very strong. Look, I think it's going to be very hard to beat Manly at home. We've seen how good they have performed at home. But yeah, I'm going with Storm to get a win here. Could be a close one.
1-12?
Yeah, 1-12.
Yeah.
If I had to pick 1-12, and I'm looking at Coates at that
Yeah.
left edge with Munster. Munster's the one setting up the tries, and a sneaky roughy Pappy scored every week.
Is it really a roughie if you scored every week?
It's not really rough. It's more they're definite.
I like it. The
There we go.
Pac-Mans.
Pappy's in.
There we go. Love it. Then our final match of round 5 is an absolute classic. The Bulldogs, the top of the table Bulldogs, $1.46 against the Knights, $2.75. The line 6.5.
Wonderful. Well, how outstanding are the Dogs' camaraderie?
Oh, mate.
That's why they're winning. Everyone's doing their job.
Yep.
And what I really like is most of them are ex-Penrith with their ex-Penrith coach. That's why they sort of have that same, dialed-in consistency. Everyone's just playing their role, even Connor Tracy at the back. I love it.
I do love it as well. The home team have covered the last 6 Newcastle matches. The Knights' last 6 have gone under the total points. And the battle of the centres this week, Bradman Best has scored his last 5 versus the Dogs, but Crichton has scored his last 4 or 5 versus the Knights.
Well, you seen what happened with Critter last week. Who was he up against? Critter, the Bulldogs versus
Sharks, it was...
Sharks.
Who was he up against?
It was Iro going
his
up against
side.
Critter. And look, Critter got the
Critter's
last laugh.
unreal,
He
isn't he?
scored, I told you, best in the game.
Yeah.
We've got a good matchup here. But with the Knights, what really disappointed me, I watched them live against the Titans. They just didn't have that energy.
Okay.
They didn't have that keenness. And they're missing Dylan Lucas. I think Dylan Lucas is such a pillar for their second row. He lays the shape and he gives that quick ball to Fletcher and Ponga to work off. So without Dylan Lucas, I'm actually leaning on the Dogs here.
Okay, there we go. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Knights to win. Knights to spoil the party, I reckon. Ponga and the boys to find a way, and they will knock off the Dogs. The Drew loss,
Yeah.
so it's coming. I'm going to go
Beauty.
this. I'm going to go this week. Knights win, Knights cover. Best scores, Crichton scores, and I'll go under.
Beauty. I've gone Dogs, Dub, and Montoya to score at the left edge.
Montoya, isn't he? an absolute weapon.
Yes, sir.
There we go. NRL round 5. Plenty of juice, plenty of picks for you. We're getting hot. We're finding some form. Regan,
I've got a best bet for you.
Oh, okay.
Here's my best bet. King's best bet. Look, I'll make up for all of those losses.
There we
This
go.
is where it comes. I've got
Okay.
2 bets. Here's your best bet. It's a 3-leg multi.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers to win, Broncos to win, Bulldogs to win. That's paying $1.98 odds.
Nice. Put your
Keep it
house on
simple.
it.
Put your house on that. That's pretty
Well,
simple.
gamble responsibly.
Gamble responsibly. And now here's my roughie of the week.
Okay.
This one's paying $18.48.
Now
So
we're
listen up.
Yep.
Here we go. Savage to score, Panthers to win, Isaiah Tass to score for the Rabbits, Broncos to win, Storm to win, Dogs to win, and Montoya to score. That's a 7-leg multi.
Ooh.
$18.48.
Write it down, people. There you go.
$100 on that. You've got $1,800.
Making
to
wages.
go in
Making
the
wages.
tank.
We love it. There we go. The King's best bet. A couple of juice there for you. Safe and a risky. You make the call. How's your weekend looking, mate? I hear a bit of a return on the cards.
Yeah, a bit of a
or-
return for football this week.
Okay, what-
I've had a phone call come in from the 3rd grade coach at College's Knights.
Oh, big union.
Bit of union.
Okay.
Yeah, he's given the call in the group chat. 4 of us, we haven't played together for about 10 years.
Yeah.
So, they hit me up. I hit up my manager,
Yep.
35,000. The Knights are in debt.
Yep.
But I am playing, and I'll
Okay.
be starting 12:15 Saturday, locked in at the College's ground.
3rd grade.
3rd grade.
Fucking hell, mate.
Beware, these highlights are coming in rough.
Jesus. Imagine the people going to play up in that competition, mate.
It doesn't matter. If you
Okay.
cross the line with me,
Yep.
you're getting destroyed. If I played NRL, same thing. Straight destroyed.
There we go.
You know about
Good
it.
to see you. Very humble as always. Lovely. That's good. Bit of union. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Can't
I'll
wait to see
I'll
it.
show you the highlights.
I'm sure you will.
Anyway,
We'll
how's your
see.
week?
Oh, nothing exciting as yours. Bit of footy, mate. Bit of footy. But there we go. NRL round 5 in the books. Obviously, people are watching. You're getting hit up in the public's face.
People don't even know me from my muscles anymore. They know me as the potty guy,
Media guy.
media guy. Here
Good
I
to
am.
see. Let's find some juice. Let's find some winners this weekend. Enjoy your footy. Regan, throw us out.
Thanks for watching. This is Media Vintage. I know his name. It's Geordie Hughes, and I'm the king. We out.
We'll see you next week. Bye.